Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special edition. I'm your host, Patrick. To my left, I have Devon.
What's up, everybody?
To my right, I have Nay.
The Nayer. Nay.
And we're just going to go through a timeline of our trip that we just had, just real quick to kind of go from the beginning to end. So we started off on Friday and we left at midnight from good old Big Spring and
Which
took a...
not a good idea.
Yeah,
It was not a good idea.
4-hour drive into Dallas. Shout out Devon for driving that. And then we hopped on a shuttle, took another 2-hour flight to go to Chicago.
Now looking back, would you do that again?
I would way prefer to fly out of Midland, but it was so much cheaper to fly out of Dallas. But my God, as much as it would save, I would probably say we fly out.
But remember we talked about like parking? We paid for parking.
Yeah, but you got to think. Okay, so it's $200. It was $200 a ticket cheaper, so that's $800 difference. So even if you had parking, which was like $150 plus gas, so we spent probably $200. We still saved $600 in total.
That's
I think it was really because we drove at night. We drove at midnight, so we didn't have a lot of time to sleep. So I think if we left maybe during the day, let's say if it was like 12 p.m. or maybe like 3, I think that would have made a difference.
Renting a hotel.
And then I think like the layovers, remember it was too long? I think that might have like dragged our days on. Like
it was just hard because I couldn't fall asleep. I couldn't even come through one with that first day to fall asleep. I only fell asleep like 30, 45 minutes. And so then we get to Cincinnati, and then we have to hop right back into a car and drive another 4 hours to go to Cleveland. Super tired.
I slept really good. Well, I slept.
I didn't.
Shout out to
me
you
or
guys
Devon.
driving. I know.
Me and Devon probably together slept like a full hour.
Yeah.
In 24 hours.
Yeah, I know.
So we were extremely tired. Then we get to Cleveland, Ohio. And there's trees absolutely everywhere. Everywhere we drove, trees, and traffic. There was traffic like crazy. And it's so crazy because, like, in Texas, you drive to Dallas, you go on, like, this long stretch without, like, there's not many cars around you. The whole entire time we drove everywhere, it was consistent, like, just traffic, I felt like, consistently throughout the whole entire time.
And the speed limit over there was, like, 55 at one point. People were going like 20 miles over. It was so crazy.
Ohio people do not believe in speed limit. It was like, it was like 50. People are hauling butt.
So they might as well make it 70.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like people are easily going 75 miles per hour out there, and everywhere we went, speed limit was 55. So then we get to Cleveland, wake up the next day early, head out to Cedar Point.
Cedar Point, which is basically like this little island where I was driving out to Sandusky, and as soon as we see signs for Cedar Point, they were questioning me like, Devon, are you going to the right place? Are you sure? It's like, guys, I'm just going based off the GPS. And it's just literally like a little own island. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Cedar Point was awesome. And it was cool, like, driving up and then how big that amusement park was. And we got there pretty much at the perfect time because we get there, the parking lot's not that full. We're able to kind of go get all of our stuff. We got the dining pass, the fast pass, which is absolutely necessary. We probably stayed in line for like 15 minutes probably at a time.
And everybody else for like an hour and a half.
Oh, easily. And we rode how much? How many roller coasters did we say? 12?
We'll say like over 10. I could say over 10.
It was over 10 in probably like 5 hours. And we still had more that we couldn't ride just because we ran out of time. So, yeah, no. If you're like roller coasters, Cedar Point is where it's at. So we head out from Cedar Point, and then what do we do next?
We drove to Buffalo, New York. That's when we went to our hotel, which looked like a castle, looked amazing. We drove up and was like, dang, Patrick, you killed it, man. Looks totally amazing.
The funny thing is, whenever we were driving through the backside, because the way, it took us, I said it. I was like, this place looks haunted. Like, it looks so old. Like, the back part of it, anyways. The older buildings that were attached. Now, the hotel itself is really nice. Yeah. Really fixed up. Really, really fancy. But I had an idea. Do you remember me saying that?
I do remember you saying that, yeah, actually.
I was like, this place seems like it may be
but it was
haunted.
nice. It was such a super nice hotel.
Yeah.
And we got to see it at nighttime. And then we head out to go to Canada, which was absolutely incredible. If you ever have a chance to go to Canada, Niagara Falls. It was amazing. Definitely want to go back and literally just take a trip specific because I figured we can go to Niagara Falls, Canada, and then head out to Toronto, take Toronto out. I just feel like Canada was so cool. There was just so much to think. I had the best s'more I've ever had in my whole entire life. Absolutely amazing. In Canada, the greatest s'mores. Yep.
Because they had that, was it a Hershey store?
It was a Hershey store. Like a legit Hershey store.
Yeah, it was good. The chocolate was really good. I got a chocolate strawberry. That's it.
And it was like perfectly like heated and melted. Like you just pick it up and like the marshmallows is intertwined with the chocolate and made. It wasn't just marshmallow chocolate. It was marshmallow and chocolate intertwined into one being, and you just bit into it and it was so gooey and just perfect. It's literally what I imagine biting into a cloud seems like.
And we saw like the little simming line to make it, so it wasn't like your normal get your marshmallows over a roasted fire. It was literally put it into an oven and just putting the marshmallows on there, just letting it melt, and then you put the chocolate on there, and like you said, it was perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, what I told the girls at work, I was like, what I liked about it is you drive in, and right away there's the falls, and then the city. So it's so easy everything's right at your reach as soon as you cross the border. And it wasn't that scary. Remember, we were kind of scared, like, crossing the border, like.
Oh yeah, because I thought it was gonna be a pain. I thought we were gonna be stuck there forever. We were in and out. He just asked us, "What are y'all doing? How long y'all gonna be there?" And I was like, what are we doing? I was all super nervous. I was like, oh my god, are we drug dealers? Did
he ever ask you for that letter, that permission?
No, he just looked at all of our passports and that's it. He didn't ask us for the letter.
The daytime. Or the U.S.? No, the
US
U.S. side.
The U.S. side.
Which is weird. I didn't know this before, which I don't know if anybody else knows, but I didn't know the falls were so close to each other as they are. Like, you can see the U.S. side and the Canada side, like, right there. I had no idea that before going on this trip that it was like that.
Yeah, I didn't know there was two sides.
Oh, you didn't? See,
no,
I didn't know that they were like... But the Canada side is so beautiful. Like, it's so much bigger, I guess. I like the Canada side better than the U.S. side. But it was just so... And then hearing the backstory, remember like how we watched that video where it used to be just... What did they talk about? It used to be like a factory.
Yeah, well, they created the falls and then they started... They made it into like a big tourist attraction. So people would come. They had circuses and like huge buildings and like a factory. It was basically a huge town right there. But then it started like polluting the river and it's basically hurting the Niagara Falls.
And they used it to create electricity?
Yes, so they still do today.
Yeah.
Made of the Mist. I thought that was. We did Cave of the Winds too, which was really cool. You just like they take you all the way down, and then you climb back up. Not necessarily climb back up. You walk back up, and you're in your poncho, and there's a whole bunch of water is just splashing on you. You're just taking pictures, and that was cool. But Made of the Mist, it's like you've seen it in movies or TVs, where you see these people just get on the Made of the Mist, and you're seeing Niagara Falls. But in person, it's beautiful.
And oh my god, it was so amazing to kind of sit there and like feel the power of nature, I guess, because you're on this boat and you feel you start to get closer to the falls. You get on this boat, you get in ponchos. There's a bunch of people there. We executed our plan. We had a plan prior, so we're waiting in line. We're like, okay, we're gonna run up to the top deck, get this specific spot. Executed our plan. And you start to get closer to the falls and you feel like this. You start feeling the mist. And then you start feeling kind of a breeze. And then it gets windy. Then you start feeling all kinds of water. Then it's like... and it gets so intense. And I feel like at that point you're going to feel the power of nature. And you see it. And like we're like just soaked in water and like being crazy. Like we were kind of close to each other. So like there was a guy next to me when we started. And then we're like... like as it goes on, and then he moved away. So it was just like us in our little corner. Everyone kind of left us alone. Yeah. But it was absolutely incredible. Like that was such an incredible experience. So then after Niagara Falls, we headed to good old Scranton, Pennsylvania, home of The Office. So our hotel was nice. Our hotel in Scranton actually was nice. I love the hotel with the fireplace outside.
Oh yeah.
So we kind of chilled there, went swimming, hung out at the fireplace, just talked. Hung out with my little brother by the fireplace, talked and laughed, and it was a blast. But we did go check out the bar in The Office. Supposedly there's in the show The Office, they go to some specific bar. Remember what it was called? Poor Richards?
Poor Richards.
And we weren't helped. Like we walked in there, we sat down for like 20 minutes. No one greeted us or helped us.
It's inside a bowling alley.
Oh yeah, it's
inside
everybody
a bowling
thinks
alley. That it's probably not, but it's inside a bowling alley.
Which is super weird. We're doing the Google Maps, and then I'm driving this time. I'm driving, and we get to the address, and they're like, Devon, it's not here. It's like, dude, it says it's right here. It's like, Devon, it is not here. So we had to look it up, and the pub or the bar is inside the bowling alley. And it turns out they only use the name, right? It's not the actual bar.
Yeah, it's all updated, they said. So it looks nothing like apparently whatever it looks like in The Office. The only thing that's there is some kind of sign, I think, when you walked in, and I don't remember seeing anything like that. That's the only thing that's actually from the set of The Office that's actually in Poor Richards, but it's literally just the name. That's what they use.
So was The Office like filmed only there? Like,
no, I think it was just based off of that. I don't think it was filmed. It was still filmed in like California and Hollywood.
Oh.
But I think it was just based in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Went out, made our long trip to New York, which actually wasn't that long. It was only 2 hours.
Yeah.
But anyways, we head out to New York. Got to see New York. It's absolutely incredible.
But my favorite part was, of course, the fireworks. When we saw the fireworks from the boat. And they blew me away, like how beautiful they were and how long that they, I guess, did it off the bridge. That was cool.
Is we went to the 9/11 memorial and we just saw New York at night, just lit up. It was just like, I felt like so small. Coming from a small town, it's like you feel small. It's just like you see all these buildings just lit up. Like, it's just amazing.
One of my favorite things that we saw that wasn't planned at all was when we were sitting there. I think it was one of the parks we were at, and that memorial was there. So we're in front of a memorial that has like an angel. And by that, sitting by it, is this guy and this girl, and the girl's like on top of him. They're just like passionately kissing, right? And I'm just like staring at them, like, what is happening? Like, you're in the middle of a park, and they're like passionately just like making out. And then I kind of look a little bit to the right, and I see that there's a microphone and there's a whole camera crew there. I'm like, oh my god! And then like, so you see the girl, she like stands up, tells him something, and turns around, and, like walks away. And so, like, I think we, like, legitimately saw a movie or something being filmed at that very moment, which was, like, the coolest scene, because it was just kind of so cool, you know, being, like, you know, I love that kind of stuff, and it was cool to kind of just see it right then and there. And so then, after New York, we went to go to Carlos Bakery.
Mm-hmm.
That was super amazing. I had a lobster tail for my very first time in my life. My little brother had a cannoli. So then we head out from New York, and then we went to Philly and had our that Philly cheesesteak. Went from Philly to go to Washington.
I thought Washington was beautiful. Like, it's more clean. It was a lot more cleaner than New York. Like, the air, it was more humid, but maybe it was just like everything was more spaced out. I guess it's because they don't have all the buildings and all the sewers, so everything was clean. And
the
remember
trash
the Uber
everywhere.
driver?
Yeah. The trash everywhere was like huge in New York, and I get it because you're such a big city, so you know it's hard to keep up with that. But there's just trash everywhere. And it smells like garbage everywhere. And Washington didn't have that.
No, I liked the way he said that. I guess some mayor or somebody took over and they changed things, so like you don't see homeless people just sleeping everywhere. They have tents. So I guess apparently when they're homeless, they can go to a certain place and get a tent, and you can see under the bridges like they all have tents. So it just looks cleaner.
I love going to the National Mall. I thought it was really cool.
Oh yeah, the Smithsonian was amazing. I love the Smithsonian, and we did the Smithsonian in a matter of what? How long we say? 3-4 hours maybe.
3 hours.
And that was with us rushing through it. Like none of us really stopped and read stuff because you know we were on kind of a time crunch. And so yeah, we didn't get to stop and like read a lot, but it was just so cool. And it was so cool because I didn't expect it to be so many different topics. Like they had everything. They had the dinosaurs, that I was so excited to see. The ocean, the land mammals, the jewelry from back in the day, minerals. Like they had everything. There was so much packed into this museum that we could have spent so much more time there, but we kind of just, you know, we had to go. I would say I was super surprised about how much my little brother eats. My little brother eats so much now, and he's not even like picky. Like it was so weird. I was trying to get a vibe on like what he eats because he got a hot dog one time. He wanted a hot dog when we were in Washington and had like relish, onions, like mustard and ketchup. I was like, hey, it has all this stuff. He's like, I don't care. And I was like, what the? So yeah, he literally eats everything apparently. It was fun. If people haven't done road trips, you should definitely do a road trip. Plan a bunch of cities that are close to each other and get to see different things and get to taste different foods and get to hear different people and
different personalities and the way the towns are. Yeah.
And I feel like it leaves a lot more time for like because you know you're stuck in a car with the people you go with, so it leaves a lot more time of just kind of conversating and talking and on picking on each other and laughing. So I feel like that is it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, going somewhere and just staying there, like flying out to a position A, you know, has the benefits too. You know, you get to relax more. I feel like a lot more relaxed, and this one's a lot more hustle, bustle, move, time crunch. But you know, it's cool. I love them like this. Yeah. So as always, stay fresh,
stay hungry,
stay driven,
and stay humble.